Many people throw away their Phalaenopsis orchids once they have finished blooming. However, in reality, these can still be perfectly healthy orchids with the ability to grow and bloom again. Hello, welcome to Wonder Garden channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to revive and repot this Phalaenopsis orchid without using a traditional growing medium, allowing it to develop a strong root system and bloom again much sooner. The best part is that this entire method uses only natural, simple, and safe ingredients. If you love Phalaenopsis orchids, be sure to watch until the end so you don't miss any important steps. Let's get started. As you can see, this orchid is planted in sphagnum moss, one of the most commonly used growing media in commercial orchid nurseries because of its excellent moisture-retaining ability. However, when used for a long time or watered improperly, sphagnum moss can retain excessive moisture around the roots. As a result, the roots receive insufficient oxygen, remain constantly wet, and become highly susceptible to root rot. This is also one of the main reasons why many Phalaenopsis orchids become weak, stop growing, or fail to bloom again after being brought home. Since today I'll be showing you how to grow a Phalaenopsis orchid without using a traditional growing medium, the first step is to remove all of the old moss completely. Carefully remove the moss from the roots one section at a time to avoid breaking or damaging any healthy roots. While doing this, inspect the root system carefully and remove any remaining pieces of moss trapped between the roots. Once all of the moss has been removed and the entire root system is visible, use a pair of clean scissors to trim away any damaged roots. Roots that are rotten, dry, mushy, or dark brown to black can no longer absorb water and nutrients effectively. Removing these damaged roots allows the orchid to focus its energy on the remaining healthy roots while reducing the risk of fungal diseases spreading throughout the root system. Trim away the damaged roots until you reach healthy, firm tissue with the characteristic green or silvery white color of healthy orchid roots. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. After removing all damaged roots, thoroughly rinse the entire plant with clean water. This step removes dust, remaining pieces of moss, and any damaged root fragments left behind after pruning. Cleaning the plant also allows us to inspect the root system and the base of the orchid more clearly, ensuring that no damaged areas are overlooked. Once rinsed clean, the orchid is better ventilated, carries less risk of bringing fungal pathogens from the old growing medium, and is ready for the next stage of recovery. To help the orchid recover and encourage new root growth, today I'll be using a very familiar kitchen ingredient: ginger. Ginger contains a variety of naturally occurring compounds and antioxidants that may help protect the plant and create favorable conditions for recovery after root pruning. I'll prepare about 15 grams of fresh ginger, then slice it into very thin pieces so its natural compounds can be released into the water more easily. Slicing the ginger into thin pieces helps break down its natural structure, increasing the surface area exposed to the water and allowing its naturally occurring compounds to be released more quickly. This creates a more concentrated and effective solution for use during the plant care process. In addition, thin slices help shorten the extraction time while producing a more uniform solution, making it easier to use in the subsequent steps of caring for the plant. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. Next, place all of the sliced ginger into a clean glass. Ginger contains naturally occurring compounds with mild antimicrobial properties that may help inhibit the growth of certain fungi. And add about 500 milliliters of hot water. Gently stir the mixture, cover the container, and allow it to steep for several hours until the water has cooled completely. During this time, the naturally occurring compounds in the ginger will continue to be extracted into the water, allowing the solution to become more stable and uniform, ready for the next steps in the plant care process. After about 3 hours, once the ginger infusion has cooled completely, strain out all of the solids, keeping only the liquid. After collecting the ginger solution, I'll add 1 teaspoon of molasses. Molasses contains various minerals and naturally occurring organic compounds and is often used to support beneficial microbial activity while creating favorable conditions for the formation of new roots. Next, I'll add about 1 liter of clean water to the solution. Then stir thoroughly until the molasses has completely dissolved and the mixture becomes uniform. Now we have a natural solution that can be used to support the orchid during its recovery period, encourage healthier root development, and help it adapt more quickly to its new growing environment. Prepare a clean glass and pour the solution into it. Now I'll soak the entire base and root system of the orchid in the ginger and molasses solution we just prepared. Make sure all of the roots come into even contact with the solution, so the natural compounds are distributed evenly throughout the entire root system. Soaking allows the roots to absorb moisture while helping the orchid recover after the pruning and cleaning process. I usually soak the roots for about 15 to 20 minutes, giving them enough time to become fully hydrated and prepare for a new stage of growth. While soaking, you can observe the orchid's roots. Healthy roots will gradually become plumper and turn a brighter green as they absorb water. During this time, you can also use the solution to clean the orchid's leaves. Simply dip a soft cotton pad or a soft cloth into the solution, then gently wipe the entire surface of each leaf. Don't forget to wipe both the upper and lower surfaces of the leaves to remove dust, residue, and other debris that may have accumulated over time. Cleaning the leaves helps keep the orchid healthy while removing fungal spores and other contaminants that may be present on the leaf surface. At the same time, clean leaves help the orchid maintain a lush, glossy, and healthy appearance. Pour any remaining solution into a watering can and use it to water other plants in your garden. Reusing the solution helps reduce waste while ensuring that all of your plants receive a consistent supply of natural nutrients during routine care. When using it on different plant species, be sure to adjust the amount applied according to each plant's needs to avoid excess moisture and promote healthy, stable growth. In addition, you should observe how each plant responds after watering so you can adjust the frequency of application accordingly. After about 15 minutes, remove the orchid from the solution and gently blot away any excess water from the roots using paper towels or a soft cloth. This helps remove any excess solution clinging to the roots, reducing prolonged moisture that could restrict airflow around the roots or create favorable conditions for fungal growth. Next, prepare a clear plastic cup like the one shown in the video. Using a heat tool, make several ventilation holes around the upper part of the cup near the rim. This also creates a stable, humid environment for the root system while maintaining good airflow around the upper portion of the plant. As a result, the roots receive the moisture they need without remaining directly submerged in water, helping the orchid adapt more easily and establish new roots more steadily during the early stages of recovery. If you have questions or want to share about orchids, please post on the community tab of the channel. Let us exchange and learn orchid care experiences together every day. Leave the bottom of the cup intact without drainage holes so a small amount of water can remain there. Then carefully place the orchid inside the cup, making sure the roots fit comfortably inside while the crown remains securely positioned above the rim. Next, add a small amount of clean water to the bottom of the cup. Use only enough water to maintain humidity around the root system. Do not add so much that the roots remain submerged for long periods. Note, it's best to use bottled water or filtered water to ensure it's safe for the orchid. If you're using tap water, let it sit overnight in an open container before use. This allows some of the chlorine and other water treatment chemicals to dissipate, creating a more suitable environment for the orchid's roots. With this method, the roots receive the moisture they need while still having plenty of air circulation around them. This helps reduce the risk of root rot while creating favorable conditions for new root growth. This method is especially suitable for people who don't have much time to care for their plants, as it helps maintain moisture for an extended period without requiring frequent watering. Now simply place the orchid in a cool, well-ventilated location away from direct sunlight. And if you'd like your orchid to develop a stronger root system and bloom again, be sure to watch my next video, where I'll show you how to prepare and apply an organic fertilizer specifically for these hydroponically grown orchids. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support us and stay tuned for many more plant care tutorials. In many previous videos, I showed you how to grow plants using the hydroponic method. Today, I will guide you on how to fertilize them properly, helping the plants receive enough nutrients to grow healthy and bloom again. The special thing is that you do not need to use chemical fertilizers. Instead, you can take advantage of organic kitchen waste, such as rice and banana peels. It may sound very simple, but if done correctly, this method can help orchids recover faster, develop stronger roots, and grow much more steadily. So, what does proper care actually mean? Subscribe to the Wonder Garden channel and watch today's entire video, so you do not miss any important steps. For orchids grown using the hydroponic method without potting medium, if you do not provide regular care and nutrition, the plants can easily become stunted, grow slowly, and struggle to bloom, Because the roots absorb nutrients directly from the water, the nutrient supply must be maintained properly and consistently. Before starting the care process, carefully inspect the entire root system. If you notice any roots that are rotten, mushy, dry, or damaged, use sterilized scissors to remove them immediately. Removing damaged roots helps prevent the spread of fungal disease while allowing the plant to focus on nourishing healthy roots and stimulating new root growth. This is a very important step that helps hydroponic orchids stabilize, recover faster, and grow better. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. After a period of growing hydroponically, the water inside the orchid container usually becomes cloudy and dirty because of accumulated residue and microorganisms. At this point, you should pour out all the old water and thoroughly clean the container to remove bacteria and fungi that may harm the roots. Regularly changing the water and cleaning the container helps maintain a clean, stable growing environment, allowing the root system to stay healthy while minimizing the risk of root rot. To make fertilizer for the plants today, I will use leftover banana peels. Banana peels contain a large amount of potassium, phosphorus, and important trace minerals, all of which are essential nutrients that help plants develop comprehensively. Potassium helps strengthen the plant, improve disease resistance, and support flowering, while phosphorus stimulates root development and promotes overall growth. In addition, the nutrients in banana peels also help plants absorb nutrients more efficiently, keep leaves greener, and support more stable development. Cutting the banana peels into smaller pieces also helps decomposition happen faster, allowing nutrients such as potassium, phosphorus, and trace minerals to be released more evenly and steadily. After that, place all the chopped banana peels into a clean glass cup. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. The next ingredient I will use is rice. Rice contains B vitamins, minerals, and natural nutrients that help stimulate root growth, improve plant resistance, and support faster recovery. I will use about 3 teaspoons of rice, then add it together with the prepared banana peels to create a natural nutrient mixture for orchids. After that, I will add about 500 milliliters of warm water to the mixture and stir thoroughly so the nutrients dissolve into the water more effectively. Next, cover the container and let the solution steep for about 3 hours. After 3 hours, strain out the banana peels and rice, keeping only the extracted liquid. This will be the natural nutrient solution for the plants. If you want to learn the secret to caring for Phalaenopsis orchids, make sure to watch this video carefully until the end. Your orchids will become strong, grow new roots, and bloom vibrantly all year round. Finally, dilute this solution with about 2 liters of clean water, making it gentler, safer, and more suitable for hydroponic orchids. Now let us use this solution to care for hydroponic orchids together. Method 1. Pour a small amount of the solution into a cup. Then use a soft cotton pad to wipe the entire orchid leaves. When wiping, clean both the upper and lower surfaces of the leaves to remove dirt, mold, and residue while helping the leaves absorb nutrients more effectively. The potassium from banana peels helps strengthen the leaves, improve resistance, and support photosynthesis, helping the plant grow greener and more steadily. Meanwhile, the vitamins from rice provide important nutrients that help leaf cells recover faster, increase chlorophyll production, and make the leaves noticeably darker green, thicker, and glossier. This is a simple but very effective method that helps orchids absorb nutrients directly through the leaves and recover faster. If you have questions or want to share about orchids, please post on the community tab of the channel. Let us exchange and learn orchid care experiences together every day. Method 2. Pour the solution into a container until the orchid roots are fully submerged. At this stage, the roots will directly absorb the nutrients from the solution, allowing the plant to replenish nutrients quickly, especially for weak or nutrient-deficient orchids. The nutrients from banana peels, including potassium and phosphorus, help roots grow stronger and improve disease resistance, while the vitamins from rice support recovery and stimulate new root growth. You should soak the plant for about 20 to 30 minutes, which is enough time for the roots to absorb nutrients while still remaining safe. When done regularly, this method helps orchids develop roots faster, grow more steadily, and bloom again sooner. Method 3. Pour the remaining solution into a spray bottle. While the roots are soaking, I will provide additional nutrition directly through the leaves. Then lightly and evenly spray both sides of the orchid leaves, paying special attention to the underside of the leaves, where many stomata are located and nutrients can be absorbed more quickly. This solution helps the leaves directly absorb potassium and vitamins, improving photosynthesis, supporting cell recovery, and enhancing the overall health of the plant. You should spray only a thin mist, avoid leaving excessive water on the leaves, and apply it in the early morning or late afternoon for the best results. By combining all three methods, the orchid will receive complete nutrition from roots to leaves, helping it recover faster, develop stronger roots, and grow more vigorously. After about 30 minutes, I will remove the orchid from the fertilizer solution and discard the entire solution. After that, I will replace it with fresh, clean water to maintain the hydroponic environment for the orchid. An important note, you should only keep enough water to lightly touch or slightly cover a small portion of the roots. You should not keep all the roots submerged in water for too long. If there is too much water or the roots stay submerged continuously, the roots will lack oxygen, become waterlogged, and eventually rot, causing the plant to weaken or die. Maintaining the proper water level helps the roots receive enough moisture while still having access to air for respiration, allowing them to grow healthier and more steadily. After completing all the steps, place the orchid in a cool, airy location with gentle indirect light so the plant can recover better. Avoid placing the orchid under direct sunlight because the plant has just been treated and nourished, making it more vulnerable to dehydration or heat stress. In addition, you can also reuse the original root-soaking solution to water orchids grown in pots. This solution still contains many nutrients from the banana peels and rice, helping nourish other plants, support root growth, improve leaf color, and strengthen plant resistance. This is a very efficient way to care for multiple plants at once without wasting the solution. Results. When hydroponic orchids are cared for properly, you will clearly notice the root system becoming much stronger, with more healthy white roots appearing and helping the plant absorb water and nutrients more effectively after each watering. In hydroponic growing methods, the root system is the most important factor. When the roots are healthy, the plant can absorb nutrients better, becoming stronger with thick green leaves and more stable growth. Most importantly, once the plant becomes healthy, you will begin to see flower spikes emerging, developing, and blooming beautifully, creating a very impressive display. This proves that, with the correct method and consistent care, hydroponic orchids can absolutely grow vigorously and bloom regularly. What do you think about this hydroponic orchid care method? If you found this video helpful, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Wonder Garden channel to support me.